Hi and welcome back to the channel. It's been quite a while since I last uploaded a video, and this is the second in the series of videos where I tell you about buying a camera, film and developing for less than £12. It can be done, but with some caveats. And in this video, first of all, I'm going to tell you about the camera, which is a Baldessa 1, which is the original, made in 1958 in Germany. So we'll look at the camera first, and then in the second part of the video we'll have a look at the principles of costing I've used for coming up with £12, and we'll look at both the hardware that I'm using to do the developing and also the chemicals, because you don't use all of the chemicals you've bought just to develop one roll of film. So that's the sort of logic I'm using in the costing. Then we'll have a look at the images that resulted from a walk I had around a local large park, Sutton Park, which some of you may know or may know of. So that is the sort of layout of this video, and then we'll do a conclusion obviously at the end. So we'll get into the first part of the video now, and that's the review of the camera. If you want to skip forward to other parts of the video, please feel free to do so, and I'd love to hear your comments about the video, what you think of the principles I've used to come up with the costing, and whether you'd like to see more videos of this type. I'd just love to hear from you, and if you want, please leave a subscribe. It really helps the channel. Okay, so let's kick off by looking at the camera, and it's a Baldessa 1, which was introduced in 1957, and it was the first in a range of about 6 or so different iterations of this particular camera. And this is the original, and it's the most stripped down and, to me, the best design. It looks clean and there's no other adornments that ruin the look of this particular camera. So for that reason I think it's the best looking. I'm not saying it's the best camera in the lineup, but it ticks the boxes for me. So yeah, introduced in 1957, and it's a viewfinder camera, and let's have a look at all the functions. So it has a 45mm 1.28 lens, which is a Baldenar lens made by Balder themselves, and it looks a fairly nice camera lens, and we'll have a look at some of the images later on, and you can judge for yourself as to whether it looks good. But yeah, it's nice, it's clean, it's got no scratches on it, and it's a very good looking little camera, apart from the peeling leatherette and the missing name tag there, which is Baldessa 1. So behind the lens we have another ring, which is a shutter dial, and it's a Vario shutter, and they did various ones. They did a Pronto 125 and a Pronto SVS, all of which are probably superior to this particular shutter. And this one has several speeds, you can see there, and it goes from bulb 25, 1/25th of a second, 1/50th, and instead of going to 100 and then 200, it goes straight to 200th of a second, which I haven't seen that on the camera before. And behind that we have the adjustment for the aperture, which goes from f2.8 in half stops for most of the way up until 5.6, 1.8, f11, F16, sorry, and then f22. So quite a useful range there. And the other things that are on the front of the camera are a flash sync port and the shutter release. And also underneath you have an attachment for a remote release, cable release. If we look at the top plate, it's very clean, as I said earlier on, and all it has is a cold shoe, and on the side there it has two lugs for attaching either a handle grip, a cord grip, or a neck strap. So if we flip it onto its back, we can see that it's got the Balder name, it's got a viewfinder, and that's about it. In order to open the back of the camera, in order to load some film, there are two buttons here, which it can be a little bit awkward this, so you've got to press down on the buttons, and it just clips off. It's the first time it's done that, and as you can see you get access to the film loading area. So your roll of film goes in this side, winds over, and slots into the take-up spool, and then all you need to do is wind on a little bit, then put the back on. And this in itself can also be a little bit fiddly, and the best way to do it is, get it the right way around, is to just locate it there first and press down. It's as simple as that. I learnt this the hard way because originally I put this side in first and then this side wouldn't go in and it stuck, and fortunately it came off without any damage. So that is the right way to put the back on the camera. If now we turn it onto its top to reveal the base, then we have several components here, which makes it a lot more interesting. Here we have made in West Germany, and then we have serial number, and this little dial here is a reminder as to what film you've got in your camera. In this case I think that represents black and white, colour negative, that is, another colour negative in bright sun I suppose, and a few others to remind you. I can't see myself using that, to be honest, but it's there and it's of interest. So this lever here is released by pressing along this button here, and that releases the rewind. So you rewind like that once your film is all exposed, and you just pop it back in there, hold it down, move this tab across, and then it's locked in position. This tab also is used for keeping the camera standing level rather than tipping over like that, which is quite a nice little thing to have. And this dial here is actually the wind on lever, so if we wind on, then that's ready to fire the shutter, and then wind on again, fire the shutter, and beneath this, just wind it on again, and beneath this little tab here, the wind on, we have a film counter, which is quite useful to have, but when it's down it's hidden, so once you lift it up to wind on, you know how many shots you've taken. And that in essence is the Baldessa 1, and I have used it, and we'll have a look at some of the photos later on after I've gone through what I think most people are waiting for, and that's how to develop a film for £12 or $16 to $17. So in this part of the video I'm going to justify my costing and the equipment that you need for developing a roll of film. So let's have a look at what you need to develop a roll of film. the first thing you need is a developing tank. So what I'm doing in my costing is saying that these items are one-off. So you're going to have to buy one of these to start developing your film, as with all of the other items I'm going to talk about now. Okay, so let's come on to one of the really important parts, and that's the film developer, because let's face it, you can't develop a film without developer. And this is one of my favourites. It's Rodinon, and one of the main advantages of this type of film, it's got to be one of the cheapest on the market, and it's a very good developer. It's been around for over 100 years, and I've had this for, it's got to be going on for 3 years now, and it does not lose any of its developing properties. Although the colour of the liquid goes this dark colour, it, as I say, it doesn't lose any of its capabilities for developing your film. I'm not going into any of the technical aspects of this because this is just on a cost basis. This 500mm costs £6.99, and in order to develop a roll of film using the dilution that I did, it costs 10 pence, and that's nothing, is it? I mean, what can you get for 10 pence these days? So that's the developer. So the next thing is the fixer. This is Adafix Plus, and there are quite a few different brands out there, but this is the one I use, and at a dilution of 1 to 7, this comes out at 84 pence per roll, which is a lot more expensive than the developer. So there's one other thing that we need to complete this process, and of course that is a roll of film. And in this instance I've used Fomapan 400, which is one of the cheapest rolls of film that you can get, and that cost £5.25. So it was actually more than the camera, and the camera actually cost £5. So if we add that up, we've got a camera at £5, film at £5.25, developer at 10 pence, and fixer at 84 pence. And that gives us a grand total of £11.19, or about $16 to $17. I know it's a bit of a stretch to claim that you can shoot and develop a film for under £12, but if you consider that you need the hardware to develop films in the future, that outlay is going to diminish per roll of film the more film that you develop. So I'm saying that to buy a camera, buy a roll of film, buy the fixer and the developer, and develop the film can cost under £12, and I'm standing by that. I'd like to hear what you think in the comments, so please do comment whether I'm talking a load of rubbish, but I think it stands up. So I think the next thing we need to do is look at the shots from this camera, and then we'll do a quick summary and a conclusion to this video after we've had a look through the pictures. So that's a quick look at the photos from the first roll I've shot through this Baldessa 1. They're a mixed bag really. I don't think there's anything there that really stands out as a good photograph, but there's a hint that you can get some good photographs from this camera. The exposure's not spot on, nowhere near with some of the photographs, but it shows potential, and I'll certainly put another roll through this camera with more attention paid to the exposure. I mean, I didn't take an exposure meter with me, but there we are. It's a roll of film that's been put through this £5 camera and developed for a total of £12. Hope you've liked the video. There'll be lots more to come on a more regular basis, I might add, and I'm going to post another video very shortly on a different subject, but it's something that I hope you might find interesting. So please like and subscribe, watch that channel, watch that video, and yeah, there's going to be lots more to come in the coming months. So this is a wrap up of this video, so thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.